Madison Middle School, this actually is where Christina Santo is, different school in her district. So another way to think about equitable access. What the big idea, and I think I remember, I might get this a little bit wrong with Christina on the line here, but when they took these surveys, I remember Christina, I want to say it identified 60 or 70 kids that had low levels of connection. And this survey really gets at it. I mean, these are actual kids, and we just map their sense of belonging, connection, and engagement, as well as their self-reflection around their self-awareness and their ability to self-manage. And what you can see in this slide is the group on the right represented 500 or 600 kids that had no Fs. And so on average, they had 3.5 they had on average, they had a GPA of 3.32 and attendance rates of 92%. On the left were kids that actually had an F, and on average, they had 2.3 Fs. They, on average, had a 1.8, and that was about 200 kids. This visual representation is 20 different kids that were randomly selected out of that group, just to illustrate it. Bottom line is that when you start to pull data in this information, both from an individual perspective, but also from an MTSS perspective, from a programmatic perspective as well, you can take a look at, okay, who are we reaching, who are we not reaching, and then strategically, what do we do? What's our response? Just a different example. It's another example. This actually is something we're working on, and Trace is going to help us do it right. But we're looking at building a survey. So if you want to develop kind kids, and these are the little things, these little things get identified as elevated that you want to see in every classroom, every period, every day, we're going to build a survey to ask kids whether or not they're actually experiencing that. And so, and you can see the way that the question is laid out. Use the one example: small wins and successes have been recognized in all of my classes, more than half of my classes. There'll be another prompt in there. C will actually be exactly half of my classes, less than half of my classes, or none of my classes. And that's a survey that Vista this next year across their 4 kind, confident, curious, and connected kids. They're going to be asked this 2 or 3 times a year. And the idea is, if Christina's at Rancho Minerva, she gets it back, and she looks and says, oh, we're doing a great job with kind, we're doing a great job with confident, but we're not doing a great job with curious. The idea is the system would then respond, and they would go to their playbook and identify, okay, what can we do universally to up our game in terms of focusing on developing curious kids, because it's an important outcome.